In this video, we focus on Learning Unit 2, Learning Outcome 3. Examine Bronfenbrenner's multidimensional contextualist model of human development as it applies to inclusive education. The topic of today's video is understanding Bronfenbrenner's model and how it relates to inclusive education. Introducing Bronfenbrenner. Born in 1917 and died in 2005, he was a Russian-American psychologist who is most well known for his ecological systems theory. This is his famous visual image of his ecological systems theory, a multidimensional contextualist model of human development, and one which we can use to apply to inclusive education. Let's have a look at the key characteristics of Bronfenbrenner's model before we look at how it specifically applies to inclusive education. This model is used to explain human development. It shows how individual people and groups at different levels of society are linked in active, interdependent, and interacting relationships. The model suggests that there are layers of different interacting systems that result in physical, social, and psychological change and development. And systems around the child influence their development. Bronfenbrenner's model places the child at the center of these systems and structures. Therefore, Bronfenbrenner's model is saying that in order for us to understand a child's development, we must understand this child within the systems. Let's take a look. This is Wandile. Wandile does not live in isolation, and therefore his development and learning is influenced by a variety of systems or factors around him. Things that might influence Wandile's learning and development are his home environment, the school that he goes to, his family, and his wider community. What Bronfenbrenner's ecological system theory does is help us to identify these contextual factors surrounding the child, placing them at different levels of influence. Let's now go back to take a closer look at this model. Bronfenbrenner explains individuals develop within a number of systems. These systems operate at different levels, influencing the development of the child. Bronfenbrenner identifies 5 systems. We are going to go through each system now. The first system and the immediate system surrounding a child is their microsystem. This system includes the family, classroom, neighborhood, or systems in the person's immediate environment. The next level is the mesosystem. The mesosystem is an interaction of 2 microsystems, such as the connection between a child's home and school, or between their neighborhood and home. These relationships between a child's immediate environment will affect the child's development. Can you think of any? The next system is the exosystem. The exosystem is an environment that does not directly involve a child, but affects them anyway. For example, when a parent's workplace requires a lot of traveling, this impacts on the child. Or when a new community service is introduced, that child can access, this will have an impact on the child's development. The next system is the macro system. This is the larger cultural context. It's the circumstances, beliefs, customs, laws, or political dispensation at the time shared by the community around the child. Finally, the 5th system is the chronosystem. This shows changes over time and the influence that these can have. For example, to a family structure, socioeconomic status, schooling and living conditions, as well as events in the country or region that the child lives. In summary, Bronfenbrennen's model helps us to understand the different levels of influence in a child's life and how these influence development and learning. It can therefore also help us to understand why a child might have a barrier to learning. In this model, we can focus on the different systems and look at how we can fix the system to fit the child and not the child to fit the system.